up, guys? This is the 67th episode of the Align with Anna podcast. This is my first guest in over 2 years. Her name is Carlene Kanellis, and she's a powerhouse woman. If you're on YouTube, you get to see all the magic, the facial expressions, yes, queen, all of that shit. You get to watch it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave some comments, share it, tag your folks. You're gonna love it. All right, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Anna Ortiz-Aragon, and I have my friend that I met this year, a kick-ass woman named Carlene, who's joining us. And we met this summer on a retreat, and I instantly knew that she was powerful as fuck. I was like, I like her. She knows things. I want to hang out with her. And guess what? She's also from the Bay Area, Northern California. And it was like, what? So that's really special. And Carlene, I would love for you to introduce yourself and then we can get it going.
Hello, I'm super excited to be here. My name is Carlene Kanellis. I am a artist, somatic healer, breathwork practitioner, energy worker. I own a couple businesses, and I guess kind of like a modern day medicine woman.
I really love that you are a businesswoman, first of all. And one of the things we were chatting about this morning was how to stay grounded as a business owner, how to really handle your shit when you are in the spiritual world. How has this been for you?
I think being an artist and entrepreneur, I started, I'm a photographer and I've combined the spiritual worlds together and business. That recently happened in the last 6 years. But before that, I was a fine art photographer. And, I started my business at 24. I was Carlene Imagery. And I was a young person in business, and I kind of got thrown into it. I've had lots of wild things happen. It's been quite a ride. And staying grounded has been knowing that failures are going to happen and we have to embrace that, and that it is fucking wild and it's okay.
It is fucking wild.
And then looking back, like I recently just found out I have ADHD in the last year and a half, 2 years. And so that's explained like my whole last 10 years in business as well. Like learning like, oh, I'm there's nothing wrong with me. My brain just works different. I always thought I was like living this wild life as an artist and that I just didn't get business, but no, I just have to approach life in a little bit of a different way as an artist and as a business person. When you ask, how is business? I feel like I've had businesses fail and then I've had them be reborn again. It's the vision that's never really died. Just the way we get there, the path has changed or the names have changed. Eventually find clarity. And I think that's really the path to success, is getting clear and being grounded in that clarity.
Yes, the vision never died. It evolved, we pivoted, we had to change things like the name, maybe the visuals or like our approach or even the packages. The vision was always the same, and that definitely like rings true for me.
I didn't really go to business school. I went to art school, and what they teach you is how to be an artist and how to get a BA. They teach you to go get a master's, and not how to sell art, but how to be an artist. Those are two very different things. And I think for photography, when I got my apprenticeship, that's really where I started to learn business. I worked for a very successful photographer in the Bay Area, nationally known, and we were working with lots of high-end clients and really tuning into how the business aspect works and not just selling, to sell art. The artist's life is so different than business. It's a growing thing. When I was lucky enough, when I was 24, I started going to network groups, and I feel like I had a group of women in their 50s and 60s who kind of adopted me and just threw me into this world of this is how we do business and this is how you network. And that's really where I learned it's about who you know and not what you know. The what you know comes later.
Girl, I love that. Okay, being adopted by 50 and 60-year-olds, I definitely, that is my story as well. What I love about that is that you don't think of the 50 or 60-year-old woman being like the boss business bitch, but she really is, man. And women, girl, tell us.
Back then, I was so quiet and so scared of just walking up to people and talking. And they were like, no, this is like, I really feel like I was pulled by my like coattails and like brought into this space of like, no, you have to talk.
Come here.
Yeah, come here. We're doing this. We're going to do it for you until you figure it out. And I think that's really where my understanding of sisterhood and wanting to work with women and really growing around women and sisterhood and what it means to be supported by people in an authentic way. The networking wasn't really about business. It was about learning who the people are that you're working with and that the trust in that evolves business.
100% the trust. And it's interesting because when you talk about networking, there's a lot of people that do networking almost for like dating or like distraction. And they're like the BNI people and they're just like, you want to get coffee? And I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Like,
Why? Or
what?
it's my business card and walks away and I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Yeah. Like
Like,
a ship in the night. Like, why did you do that?
okay, thanks.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah. So the real ones are often like 50 and 60-year-old women, I'm not gonna lie, and they're like mothers. You know what I'm saying? Like the mother that has to manage the fucking household and the schedules and the children and like everything. She's already a businesswoman. Like whether she knows it or not, like girl, you are good at delegating. You are a project manager. You have leadership skills. You are the communication expert. Like you're the one.
Your employees under control or you don't.
Or they're not. Yeah.
Um,
Trust needs to be built. You don't just meet someone one time and then
right.
sign up. You need to see people over time. One of my elder sister moms was like, let people prove themselves to you. Give them small tasks, little tiny projects together before you do anything big.
Exactly. But the woman over 40, she's pushed out like she's old, where I'm like 40 is just you just starting. I'm not 40 yet, but from my
Yeah.
understanding, what I've seen, you're just starting to figure it out. You're starting to kick ass. Everything's like coming
Yes.
together for you. It's almost like there's no wisdom or no knowledge there anymore. And it's like elders are where it's at. They've been through it all. They know what doesn't work, what doesn't work. And they don't give a shit anymore. So
For real.
it's
That's powerful. That is power. And yeah, like so much of business is also being seen. Throat chakra, but
yeah,
also like open to potential criticism or judgment. But you have to not give a fuck because your shit isn't gonna fly if you don't wholeheartedly believe in it.
right. I think that's where clarity comes in. I heard Oprah on an interview, what do you think the most successful people have compared to other people? And she said clarity. You have to know where you're going in order to arrive there. I found so much likeness in that. Like, oh my God, that's why 10 years ago, Carlene imagery failed. That's why so many things I tried to do failed because there was no clarity around it. So I was taking family gigs, I was taking baby pictures, I was taking everything that I did not like so that curling imagery can thrive. And the second I started saying no to everything is when clarity started to happen. And then that's when curling imagery closed and soulography was born. Things got really clear on like, this is what I want and this is where I want to be going. Just over the last even 6, 7 years, just realizing how clear my vision got in order for it to be successful.
Yes, the clarity, the vision, and saying no.
Mhm.
Saying no. You know, in the spiritual world, there's so much like fluidity and feminine and flow and shit, but a river needs a bank,
Exactly.
or else it's going to be all over the place
Yeah.
and not, it's going to disappear, like
Yeah.
literally.
Exactly. And we can be flowy and we can be free, but there still needs to be alignment and there still needs to be a course, and that course can be kind of all over the place, but it still has a course, it's still clear. That path is clear. It can be windy, it can be circular, it can be whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you have to know where you're going. You may not know how you're getting there, but you do know where you're going.
Give me an example of a clarity moment.
For me, it's a sacred no or it's a full fuck yes. That no is a sentence and that no is sacred and it opens up opportunities for the full fuck yes. So if you're saying yes to all these things that aren't a full a full yes, you're not giving energy to the full fuck yes thing that you want. You're putting all this energy into a million little things instead of all the energy into one big thing. Where clarity really started to happen was actually right before COVID. I was in therapy. I love therapy. I'm still have a therapist. She asked me, "Who are you without photography?" And I said, "What are you talking about? That doesn't exist. There is no life without photography." She said, "You're married to photography. You're in your own way. We're now in marriage counseling with you in photography." So for like four for like 4 to 5 months, I was literally in marriage counseling with my business and my attachment to photography. And the clarity came, COVID hit, and I was out of a job. So I was spending hours on the floor thinking, dreaming, what do I want? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And that's really where things started to get clear, was that
Mm.
pause and that like, fuck, I can't work. And then being flatlined on the ground and just spending hours in there, just really taking the time to get clear. I didn't know that's what I was doing, but that's what was happening.
Yes.
And then that's when soulography happened. And what soulography is it's the combination of shamanic practices, energy work, and the process of photography to create transformational experiences that happen to be photographed. What wasn't clear before soulography was I was keeping my spiritual self in the closet, and my photography self was what was being presented on the outside. I'm really good at what I do, but I was trying to mainstream it in what I should or should not be according to society. And when I got flatlined, when I didn't have a job, it got really clear that, oh, this is not what I want to do. This is actually what I want to do. And what happens if we put these two worlds together? Because I was seeing that empowerment and all these spiritual aspects of myself that I was doing with women were the exact same things I was doing with boudoir, only I wasn't liking boudoir and I wasn't liking doing fine art nudes, because at the end of the day, we're still giving these to somebody. They're not for ourselves. It was still a gift. So to me, there was like, we're still trying to look a certain way. But when I got clear, it was like, oh, what does it look like if I do these things together and I give myself the freedom to be me and just blast it out? And then I haven't stopped.
Super clear.
Yeah, super clear. It was like a light went off, like bing, like, okay, this now makes sense, you know? And then other things started birthing from that, and more opportunities started coming because I was standing in my authentic self. I knew I showed up to the world in authenticity, but I wasn't recognizing that my authenticity was not being revealed through business. I was not honoring that part of it.
Yes. Girl, yes, the sacred no and the full fuck yeah.
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 It's Yeah, and it's like that's I tell clients when there's big decision, like what is it your body's going to tell you. Your body knows. And if it's not a full fuck yes, then it's a no right now. And that's
Yeah.
okay. No's need to happen. And I think especially as women, we get afraid of like, well, what if we say no to that opportunity, and then what if they do this and I missed that and I missed the train? Let them. What if you don't say no and you're missing the full fuck yes to the thing you actually want over here, and it's the person asking you. You just didn't turn around.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You just didn't turn around. Yeah. And one of my friends describes it as being double-minded, like one foot in, one foot out, but you're still leaking energy, and it
Right.
can be felt in your copy, it can be felt in your marketing, it can be felt in how you work with your clients. And they're like, I mean, that was cool, but like not what it could have been if
Right.
she was really like doing what she wanted to do.
Exactly. And there's scarcity in that. And that's lack mindset. And that's swimming upstream. When I
Mm.
talk about the rivers, that's like literally holding onto a rock and not letting the river take you where you need to go.
Holding on to a rock. Yeah, like don't do that.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the water. Well, why are you in the water then? You know what I mean? Get out of the game. But
Get out
yeah,
of the game. Yes. Ooh, okay, let's touch about that. I am a believer that entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And when we say get out of the game, do you have any thoughts on that, girl?
I mean, I still do it most weeks where I'm like, would I be happier if I just go get a 9 to 5 at fucking Walmart? Like that would be so much easier and my life would just be so less stress. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can do that.
Right. Imagine your soul picture at
my
Walmart.
soul my soul self is like, bitch, get back in here. Like, where'd you go?
What
Like,
are you doing?
what are you doing?
Stop running.
You left the track for a second, come back. But when I was photographing weddings in the very beginning of my career, I didn't like photographing weddings. And I went to school with this couple that didn't want to own a business. So I hired them to do the shit I didn't want to do because they didn't want to run a business and I didn't want to do documentary photography. So they came
Yeah.
into the weddings and did all the shit I didn't, and I photographed the bride basically. And then
Ooh.
so it was like a creative director. They didn't want to own a business. They didn't want the overhead of that, but they still wanted to photograph. So for them, that's a win-win. They get to make money, they get to have their consistent work, and they get to be told, be here at this time on this time, and here's your money and bye. They don't have to worry about anything.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. And in your sacred no, it's like you're making space for people to help you. You're making space for support. That's like easier.
yeah, don't want to do that. And so when people are like, I don't want to be an entrepreneur, I totally get it. And not everybody, I think we're in a world right now where everybody wants to be an entrepreneur because it's kind of the thing that's all over the internet, or the thing that's all over TikTok or Instagram. It's like, have your brand, be this, be that. When really it's like you can be an assistant to somebody and have a really great life. You know?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you for it.
Definitely. And have like solid relationships where your boss isn't gonna abuse you, overwork you. They're gonna respect you and your family, and it's gonna be like a way healthier work environment.
Exactly. My assistant right now, like my goal is to get her right now. I pay her hourly, but my goal is by next year to have her on, on full time. And what does that look like for us, And she just recently, she does amazing things. I fucking love her. I think I would not be alive. I tell her all the time I wouldn't be surviving without her because she just is on it. The other day, she was like, "Hey, at the we have a women's circle coming up for Yule." She used to be a dance teacher, and she was like, can we talk about me leading something in dance? And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's talk about that. Like, let's make space for that. You know,
Yes.
it's like she's part of the team. And I think when the spiritual aspects come in, or the groundedness, where everybody's growing when you're clear and when you're grounded.
Mm.
It's not a like competition, or yeah, let's make space with that. Like, you want to learn how to hold space and movement, like let's fucking figure it out, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah, and what boss would really give you that opportunity if you didn't really trust each other? You had the time in, you had successfully completed a bunch of great projects, and then it's complementary. It's in-house too. You don't have to look elsewhere. I think about your photography business. Like a lot of photographers do it all. They want to do podcasting, they want to do video, they want to do YouTube. But I realize in my entrepreneur journey, I don't want to do editing, bro. Like, sorry,
Yeah,
but that shit takes hella long. Like that's not my zone of genius. That's not my
yeah.
zone of genius. And that is like 100% okay because we already have to wear so many hats. So
Mhm.
let's like really get specific about the ones that we're proud to wear and we have the capacity to wear, that we wake up every day like excited to wear the hat instead of like, fuck that hat. Like, I hate this.
Exactly. And that's delegation. That's clarity. That's knowing what you're good at and what you're not. And knowing it's like, I mean, we still got to do some stuff. I mean, I don't want to pay my taxes and I don't want to do that shit. But at the end of the day, we gotta make some time for that. And like editing, do I want to do this, or do I want to pay somebody else to do it? Is
Yeah.
it gonna make my life easier? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, girl. I love that. This is beautiful, Carlene. Like you're a wealth of knowledge. I love your story about the networking, the women that you met, like the mentorship, the relationships that you built, and how your own business has shifted. And you took things off your plate so you could be more direct. And now you guys don't even know, but like Carlene is a worldwide traveler and facilitator. Literally. And this is the dream, So you never know where it's going to take you. But if you get clear, you said something really amazing. Everybody is growing when you're clear and grounded.
Mhm. Yeah, and I truly believe that. And I feel like I'm just getting started. Like, this is just the beginning, like clarity just happened. So,
Mm,
yeah, it's been like 5 years since I really found clarity, and since Soulography birthed itself. I still feel like 2020 was yesterday.
yeah.
It's moving. And so for people out there who are thinking like, I only got a year in the game and I'm like behind, like, no, keep fucking going, because
Yeah.
it's that vision that's going to hold you.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's where the faith comes in too. Like, not everybody's an entrepreneur because of the stress, the responsibilities, the leadership
Right.
skills required, but also the faith. Not only do you need to be grounded and practical and like actually have some discipline about your schedule and your goals, but you also need to have unshakable faith in
Oh, yeah.
yourself, in the
In
vision.
Yeah, so many people are afraid of failure. It took me a long time to get to that place of like, oh, every time you fail, you learn something. And we're gonna fuck up. It's business. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's like learning how to play a sport or learning how to ride your bike. You're going to fucking fall. And if you're not falling, then somebody's holding your bike up.
Yeah. You're not really playing.
You're
Yeah.
not playing. Yeah, if you're not getting up, you're not in it.
You're not in
Um,
it.
yeah, and then the groundedness, I think for me, I treat my business the same as, my sacred practice. Like the way I show up to business is a ritual. The way I show up to my emails is a ritual. If I'm gonna be putting things out, there's a certain candle that goes on. There's a certain thing that happens in those spaces. Business is business. There's no feelings in business. I think that was the best advice someone gave me once.
It's not personal. The relationships are definitely personal, but like once you're
Yeah.
in it, it's like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not about you being a bad person or unworthy or incapable or whatever. It's just like this is the job and this is the goal. And
Mhm.
if you're not the one, that is 100% okay. And we're going to
Yeah.
find the one. Like it's a puzzle piece, right? The puzzle pieces are not mad at each other.
Yeah. Exactly. That took a long time to understand too, just because I am such like an empath. It's, feelings are a whole ass thing. Um,
Yeah, and I think that's why people are afraid to hire and scale, dude. They're like afraid to work with people. They'll be like the consultant on their own for hella long. But then they're like, okay, well, I'm running out of time to handle my projects, so I need another team member. But then they get like afraid to
let it go.
potentially, yeah, fail, let go, or like hurt somebody, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I think that's all part of, yeah, that's all part of, there's so many ways we can go with that, you
Yeah,
know?
it's growing pains, right? Like when you're like in the gym, like if it doesn't hurt, you're not doing it right.
Right.
You need to feel something in order to know like what the other side is like.
Along with the groundedness and along with these disciplines, we still have to show up on time. Like business is business. We got to show up. We got to be
Yes.
accountable to meetings and to things. Sometimes there are things that we can flow through, but there are things that it's just we're starting at 10:30, we start at 10:30.
We start at 10:30. You can't ghost people
Yeah.
if they're your client. Owning your offerings, owning what you're selling. What you don't want to do is be like a fraud, have like false advertising, yo. Like that's karma. You might get some money doing that. You might get success with air quotes. But the karma and like the longevity of your business isn't going to fly because word of mouth is still the most powerful. It
It
is.
is.
It is.
Also, it's your brand. It's your name.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your integrity, it's your legacy. If you really want to bring it all the way in, is be super intentional. Just like you with your business meetings, I put a certain candle on. Maybe there's like aromatherapy. I like put some jewelry next to me or whatever. Anywhere that you spend your money for real, like you can get that serious. Like, is this fair trade? Does this come
Right.
from like a family-owned business? Is this like quality materials? Is this someone that I would recommend to somebody else? It's basically like eating at McDonald's versus like cooking like a farm to table meal. The energy and the healing is completely different. Draining versus nourishing and like empowering.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's places for each, right?
There is. There sure is. Yeah, like I still go get ice cream cones
That's what I was
because
thinking about. Yeah.
yeah, I like ice cream, dude. Like that was kind of like my thing this year. I was like, "Do you want to get some ice cream?" And I'm like, a little girl, you know, St. Louis loves ice cream. And I'm like, "Dude, I want some fucking ice cream." Like I work out, I'm disciplined like at 99% of the time. Like what the fuck? Um, yeah, but if we really like think of our energy as that serious, of our legacy and our vision as that serious, we will be so intentional with like every podcast episode, right? Every
Right.
post, every client, every discovery call, you know, every project that we work on, we're really going to pour our heart and soul into it because it matters. Our long-term legacy like really depends on it.
I agree. And I think it's also comes back to your why. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. Why am I doing this? Yeah, to be fulfilled. Freedom is huge for me. Like the number one is freedom, but it's also like fulfillment. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to be bored. I don't want to not look forward to my day. That's just not okay with me. That is the ultimate compromise.
when you love what you do, you don't work,
Yeah.
it's, yeah. And it doesn't matter what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
If you love the law, being a lawyer is not gonna, you know,
For
you
real.
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
And everyone's into different things. You want to cook? Cool. You want to be a caregiver? Cool. You want to be like an artist? Cool. But yeah, just don't be afraid of what you want.
exactly. Yeah. And that, yeah. And that clarity really is the key.
The clarity girl. Ooh. Okay, girl. Well, this has been super fire. Like, I think we dropped so many gems. Carlene, do you want to share any final thoughts? Anything that you would love to like seal us out with?
Hmm. This year has been like really feeling into the full fuck yes of life and the full sacred no. And so find the sacred no's, get excited when you have them because that means a full fuck yes is coming, you know.
Mm. Mm.
And don't be afraid of it. I think oftentimes we can be afraid of no. And there it doesn't need to have fear.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so protected. You have so many folks rooting for you in real life and
Yeah,
beyond.
our
Like,
ancestors.
if
Yeah.
you could see everybody wrapped around the block, you would be like, why do you question yourself,
Yeah.
child?
You'd be walking into a room a little bit differently.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh my God. I love it, Carlene. Okay, so how can people keep in touch with you, follow you, work with you? Give us the details.
On my website is carlenekanellis.com. I also have a YouTube channel, Carlene Kanellis. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Carlene Kanellis. And I work with women and men in mentorship, in soulography, in breathwork, and shamanism in many ways, and all kinds of areas around self-love, empowerment, shadow work, womb work, all the all the things that we're afraid to walk by ourselves in. But yeah,
Yeah.
go check it out. And the YouTube just launched, so I'm so excited about that. Yeah.
Beautiful, Carlene. Thank you. And I have seen Carlene work some magic and move some real ass energy in front of me. Like I have literally seen Carlene work it, like not even to the full extent. It was like a baby one, but she fucking slayed. So yes, thank you, Carlene. Thank you. It's an honor. I can't wait for more. And yeah, girl, this was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. If you're looking for the most ethical, powerful, and magical fucking aromatherapy on the planet, so you can be a better bitch and just like totally fucking taken care of, I got the shit for you, okay? When you don't feel abundant or creative, confident, sexy, like on top of the world, this is the kind of shit that's gonna help you. I created this skincare line as an extension of my high school senior project. All natural aromatherapy experience because that's what we did back in the day. On our priestess, bad bitch, queen shit, we used oils, the purest fucking oils that not only penetrated your skin, it anointed you. Waking up first thing in the morning, clearing yourself between meetings, before you pick up your kids, that's the kind of shit I'm on. Almost like if you were saging, but you don't need a lighter. So let me introduce you guys. These make beautiful gifts. A holiday gift, for a Valentine's gift, or a galentine for your clients. A sister circle, somebody's birthday coming up. I also have an affiliate program. So if you want to sign up and you want to be a brand ambassador for Align with Anna, you get paid. To learn more about that, please go to alignwithanna.com/get paid and let's grow together. You can also shop wholesale, Etsy, and Shopify. As a mom, as someone who really values her self-care and her routine, I use all of these daily. And it's gonna come in a sweet little box. I will put some beautiful tissue in there. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Shop today.